Hi, this is Funny Minds, and I'm your host, Lindis, and my co-host.
Edward Biss.
And today we have on Mason Akmit. I don't know, Mason, if I'm saying
Aksamit.
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 Aksamit, yeah. So
Aksamit.
accent
Okay, so
Aksamit.
sorry for the
happened
mispronunciation.
to have my whole life. I totally get
Yeah.
it.
She just put her teeth in, so just give her a minute.
Sorry,
Oh, that's a terrible thing to say to your mother. Mason, you're a YouTuber. You got an awful lot on YouTube, boy, going on. And you're looking to you're creating a future length film. And is that not the happiest man on earth, or you're doing something else? Because I know you have a lot of segments with that.
so yeah, it's Drepper the happiest man on earth. So I've been building it via social media on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube since December. And then so I'm just taking each of the little segments that I make as short films and using those as marketing tools and just trying to get them in film festivals. And then also just trying to be able to complete a whole feature film, I think would be just really fun, both as an actor and as a writer. I think it'd just be an exciting experience.
Have you written a full length? Do you have some scripts that you've done and that you?
So yeah. So I had been writing, trying to break into Hollywood for a while, and I have three other feature scripts along with two TV pilots and a bunch of short films, just trying to get that into
Mhm.
to producers, trying to get something going. And it always seemed to be running into the same problem: is they want to see you having completed a feature film as the finished product. They want to see the whole piece put together. It's not just a pitch thing. And
Yeah, I would assume that that's not an easy hill to climb. Um,
no,
in
No,
that business. But at
did
least these days you have the avenue of YouTube and other things that you could do, at least to, like you're doing, putting together content, putting together episodes, putting together ideas. So this way you could piece it together at some point and package it.
yeah, and it also
what?
gives me kind of a understanding of what the audience is like and what people are attracted to and what entertains
Mhm.
people and what isn't working as much.
Yeah, you get that instant feedback.
Yeah.
Now, when I watched The Happiest Man on Earth, it's like you're playing all the roles.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're like Eddie Murphy.
Well,
Uh,
it's a, it,
No,
it's
it's a
an
bit of a
approach.
different
It's
kind
an
of stuff.
approach that I think is super cool.
No,
it
thank you.
is.
It's what I have access to just because it's right now I can't pay an actor $400 a day,
Mhm.
which to be
Right.
honest is underpaying an actor. Uh, I don't have the money just to drop that every day to work with other people. So it's
Yeah.
more the factor of I can set it up myself, I can do it myself. I am starting to do more incorporation through Act Two and Act Three of the film of other characters, and these are just actor friends around town who've agreed to help out and who want to just act and do things and get themselves out there. So
And
that's
get some experience.
yeah, exactly.
You know, like do you call around to the colleges? Like, where are you, first of all?
I'm in Massachusetts. I'm right outside of Boston.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay. So, can you use some of the kids from the college who, are in the theater arts
Film
and
majors, stuff like
you know,
that.
I could go to a school. I'm not a part of a school. I don't go to a school out here. I'm from Denver. I just moved here 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
So
okay,
I'm trying to go and meet people and just make connections where I can. So whenever I go to different groups or I go to different festivals, or I'll go to college campuses and just try to meet people and get involved with different groups like that.
I'll tell you what, you'd be surprised and I've known, I've done a lot of different things, but I've known some people that have gone that route and tried to do their own thing and write their own stuff and produce it and come up with the money and all the whole labor of love to try and put something together.
yeah,
And they had no problems finding people that were willing to just donate their time free to just be a part of it. And I think it's
right.
a great thing. Like I would do that, and I have done it.
If they like the script, and you do the script, and they like the script, you'll find a lot of people
Yeah,
that will donate their time to do it. Are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. Do you belong to the entertainment? Like, there's a lot of different
Yeah,
groups.
there's a lot of
So you
groups.
belong to all of those groups.
No, I
And
haven't watched that yet.
and have you put feelers out to all of the different producers and directors and stuff like that?
I mean, I've contacted as many people as I can. They don't look at you if you're not a name. This industry
Uh-huh.
is very much an industry of, do you have the title? Less so, do you have the talent? They
Yeah,
care
yeah.
Hmm.
about you more just because they can sell your name, and that totally makes sense as a business to them. They want to like
Mhm.
operate so they can market the film can market itself. So they want to have a name
Right, exactly.
backs that.
Now, Mason, do you, now when it comes to this, is there a certain type of, like in music, we have, press kits that, if you're trying to get signed by a label that you send to A&R and for them to look at, is there a similar type of situation, press type kit that they expect to get from you?
They call it a pitch deck or a pitch bible.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Mhm.
and so for one of my old feature films, I had that and I was pitching it around to producers. And I think the budget on that film was a little too high as far as I mean, it was 5 million, but in the film industry, that's low end. Uh,
Hmm.
that was just beyond my reach, I think. And I think with this film, my entire mindset of the creative element of it is, how do I get out of the I need a budget for this and just what can I practically film right now where I am? And if I need a certain type of stage or I need a certain set, I can contact people and go get the set for the individual scene. It's
Okay.
a lot of times with this industry, it's very much you would write it, clean up the script, then do pre-production, then go to production, then go on to editing. But the way I have to approach it is, I have the script. I just actually finished the final version of the script today. But I'm just chunking away bit by bit to really hone in on each individual part. And it's forcing me to make every minute of the film count, because
Hmm.
now it's
Right.
online, it has to garner attention. So how am I going to garner attention in 1 minute of a film?
Well, I'm not going to ask you what the name of your film is, but is it like, is it drama? Is it action? Is it a thriller?
Um, so I don't know how to explain the genre. It's a mix of horror, comedy, tragedy, drama. I mean, it's a bunch of different things
So
all.
it's very eclectic.
Yeah, I really just I like classical literature, so I'm really big into
Okay.
Victor Hugo, Alexandre Dumas, Shakespeare. I just like those old stories that they blend all of the different genres together and
Hmm.
all different ideas, and you just get a fuller experience from that. It's the full enrichment.
Yeah.
It's not just a
You
black
throw a
box.
little Edgar Allan Poe in there too, just for the thrill of it.
I've done
Honestly,
it.
I think Mason, that's a great route to go.
Thank
Because there's so many directions you can pull from, and your canvas is that much broader, that you have to work with. And as far as the writing of the, your dialogue and everything, how do you, what approach do you take with that?
So I've I've been in theater and film, so theater specifically since I was 12. I'm 26 now, and I went into film more so when I was like 16 in high school. And
Okay.
over the course of college, I studied history, I studied literature, and I think I just kind of developed different things from here and there. But when it comes to dialogue, I've found that if you create characters with
Hmm.
contradicting moral viewpoints on life, that
Hmm.
they just naturally create conversation. Uh,
Hmm.
they have a different
Okay.
perspective on a person, so that conversation just naturally ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
And the way I start a scene is I started with a point. So, what is the main point of the scene? Let's put it right at the beginning, and that's what the entire scene is going to be talked about. So,
Hmm.
Okay.
whatever said first creates the entire energy of the
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
follow.
Did you think about really moving out to California to be in the midst of things, in the midst
So,
of people, and
I have a lot of friends in California who are in the same position, and it's it they're very, very talented too. And it's the thing is it's not the location. There's plenty of film sets out here. I'm right next to New York. It's literally
Sure,
Right, right.
absolutely.
so there's plenty of film industry out here. I get commercial gigs and stuff like that all the time. It's I think a matter of most of what these companies do, production companies, is they have a formula. So they consistently produce the same type of film over and over. They'll make a Hallmark film and they'll just make Hallmark film after Hallmark film. They can produce 9 of them a year, make great
Right.
as revenue. So they
Yes.
don't even look at anything at all that's not a part of that track because
Yeah.
it doesn't line up with their vision. And there's a lot of people out there with that different mindset, and different production companies have different mindsets. And I've found that all of my personal favorite movies are directed by people who just started doing their own things. Quentin Tarantino movies, Christopher Nolan,
Mhm.
Wes Anderson, they all create their own thing, and in creating their own thing, they create their own whole new genre, and they create people to just come to them.
Yeah.
They're creating it.
Yeah, it really is just getting that one break. Obviously
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, who you mentioned, and the thing I think is the coolest too is that it enabled him to just maintain whatever style he wanted. He didn't have to conform to make something to please a studio. He made what he wanted. So he was
Exactly.
able to maintain his style. So
Yep.
you would be in that same ballpark. You maintain what you really, really want to do as opposed to being told.
Yeah.
But
If you
I
if you
don't
want
think
the money, do this.
I don't but I don't think he really started out that way. It's like
Ooh,
Tarantino. I don't think he started out that way. I think his first film was really something that, was given to him to do more than something that he really wanted to do.
yeah, but
And then
he had
once
full
he did,
creative.
but the thing is, once he made a name for himself, then he can do. It's like everybody. Once you make a name for yourself, you can do. The sky's the limit. You
Well,
can do
obviously,
whatever you
but
want.
he had
But
he had full creative control
hmm,
over his movies, and that's really what it's all about.
So his
If
first
you,
big film was Reservoir Dogs, and that
which
was
I loved.
great film. But he
Oh man,
entire thing in that garage, and the one scene in the restaurant beforehand. But the entirety of the film budget, I think it was the majority of the film was spent on the one song when he cuts the guy's ear off. It's
yeah,
yeah. Well, they had to pay for the
rights,
you
the
know
exclusive rights,
yeah, the rights to play it,
and
and you think of the cast that they had in that.
Mhm. Well, and a lot of them got their careers started more after, which is crazy. Like it's a lot of the times we look back and we go, "Oh yeah, that makes sense how big they are now." But Wes Anderson's first short film he made with Owen Wilson and Luke Wilson, and none of them had names. They were all in college. They just borrowed money from their dads and made a film, and,
right.
Mhm.
and that launched a whole thing from there on out. So it's just taking the first step and keep continuing to move in the direction that you
Well,
want.
it resurrected Buscemi. It resurrected
Right.
Harvey
Yeah. Yeah.
Keitel.
Mhm.
It was very well done. It was tasty. It was brutal. It was interesting. Just like Pulp Fiction. Just
Oh, Pulp Fiction was that was an
just
incredible movie.
a unique approach.
Yeah.
Writing his whole style, and I think if you stay along the course, obviously you're going to have that freedom too as well, and obviously that's what you want.
So
Yeah,
what do you do to I'm gonna put it right out there. What do you do to feed yourself,
I work
Mason?
at a travel agency. It's a place called Grand Circle Travel. They their whole they have like specific adventure trips anywhere around the world for people
Oh,
who so I'm part of the sales team, so I do inbound sales calls.
And it's called.
okay.
You said it's called adventure travel.
Overseas adventure travel.
Overseas
Overseas
adventure
adventure travel.
travel.
Okay. Okay.
Let me ask you a quick question. Do you book trips where I can go great white shark cage diving?
Not that I know of off the top of my head. There's like 300 trips with the company. So if you go on the website, you can just look for any of that stuff.
I have some just weird desire to get down in the water with gigantic sharks. But in any case,
My dad did that. He loved it.
I guarantee. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I found one that you can go. You fly out to San Diego, and then from San Diego they take you to what is it? Guadalupe Island, in off of Mexico, and then you got to go a certain time of the year, like around October, November, when they come down from California.
Yeah, well, don't tell me when you're doing it.
Oh God! and then you go down. You get like 15 hours in the water. It's over the course of a few days, stay to bed and breakfast, and
Oh my God.
I want to do it so bad,
Oh.
so bad. I know I'm sick, but whatever.
So now where do you think you're going to go from here? Like you finish your script, so now you're probably going to go over it. You're probably going to go over it a million times to make sure it's got everything that you want in it. And
I think now it's more of the factor of keeping pace. So I make the rule for myself that I have to do one thing every day, whatever it might be. I don't get
okay,
if it takes me 5 minutes, if it takes me 50 minutes, it doesn't matter. I will spend some part of that day doing a part of the film. And
okay,
it creates that consistency, that the habit of doing it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's a huge help. But like some days, for example, yesterday I worked for 6 hours on it, and the day before that I worked for 5 minutes. So it varies, and it's
right, right.
makes. But so I have the whole script ready. I would say it might need cleaning as far as like maybe cutting a line here, cutting a line there. But for the scenes themselves, they're pretty set in stone as to what I want to do with the story and each segment of it. It's roughly going to be, it's 100 pages, so meaning a page per minute in the industry. So that's about an hour and 40-minute film. Uh,
Okay.
but that being said, I also move faster than my scripts go, so it might even be shorter than that. It's just a matter of the wording on this line needs to be a little different. It doesn't make sense to an audience. So right now, I just finished the first draft. I sent it out to my 8th grade English teacher, because she's a stickler, and I appreciate that when it comes to
That's
writing.
super cool.
So she'll be like your editor.
Yeah.
One of them. I also
Yeah.
have friends who edit, who are actors in LA, friends who edit
Okay.
makers in Denver, sound engineers. Like I try to make sure all the different perspectives that I can possibly get on the film
Yeah.
are there, because the more perspectives who appreciate it, understand, the larger the audience becomes.
At what point do you at what point in the process do you roll out and show anybody anything to try and get some feedback?
As far as like the script,
Yeah. Like, do you wait until the very end? Like, you just go through the process, do the filming, the
I wait till the
shooting, and then show it, and then get some type of feedback, and then maybe go back and re-edit or reshoot?
Well, it depends on certain aspects. So I'll send scenes, because so for example, there's 20 minutes in the middle of the film that I involve 3 other actors. So I'll send that 20 minutes of the film to those actors when I'm looking for them, trying to get
Okay.
a feel for how they feel about playing the character, if they're feeling passionate about it, if they're okay with the dialogue, if they're okay with the things that they're going to say. Because yes, it is edgy. Yes, I'm trying to push boundaries with some of the things that some of the characters say, but the actors aren't okay with it. Then, so it comes down to, do I work with that actor or do I cut the line? Most of the time, you just cut the line. It's easy, but
Yeah.
sometimes actors are
Okay.
just ridiculous. So
I'd have to think a lot of actors and actresses at this point in the game just want to get busy, do some stuff. They're not going to really be too picky unless you're really pushing some crazy, insane boundaries, maybe sexually or something. Where they're like, I'm not into that.
Yeah, but even
But for the most part, you're going to get agreement. They want to get edgy
so
too.
I would. Most of the time, it's people are pretty fine with it. I want people to feel comfortable. More of the energy of it. It's
right.
you're saying these lines. I want you to feel comfortable and confident in saying the line. If you're
Because they're going to do the part better. If
Yeah,
they're comfortable with what they have to say, then
they have
it's
to
going to come off a lot better.
and they have to believe it. If they believe
Right.
it,
Exactly.
believe.
Exactly. They have to believe in the storyline. So, what about angel investors? Have you thought about that, or you don't want to get involved with the?
Love angel investors. Where are they?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you? Everybody loves angels,
Yeah,
especially if they're investing in
Well,
you.
it depends. Some
that's
people
what I've been
really
looking
don't.
for. And so if somebody comes up and is like, "Hey, let's work together," and I get good vibes from the situation and I trust the
Mhm.
person,
Yeah,
and yeah, if I'm feeling untrustworthy, then I'll listen to the signs. But
that's a serious step because for you to accept any type of monetary assistance, you have to always be wary of what they expect.
Right.
Is it a financial return or is it some type of creative input, which you're probably most likely not looking for?
Yeah, you're
You're
really not looking
like, no,
to.
I got this handled. I just need it financed.
well, and that's the thing is for this film in particular being a first feature film like this, if I'm pulling all of the stops to the level that I'm going to do it at and going, I mean, I'm already as far as I am. I'm a quarter of the way through filming. So, and the script is now done too, so I'm pretty far along in the process. Uh,
Mhm.
I just feel that I'm more invested in it and I need to go to the entirety through the entirety of the film, finish it, edit it how it needs to be done. And then if there's financiers who want to mess with things in my future projects, it's a different thing, but you need to see what I'm going for first because
Yeah.
So that they don't change the whole dynamic of what you're doing.
yeah, well,
Like
so
you'll accept some changes, but not the whole dynamic of it.
yeah, so I'll give you an example. I was on a feature film set a while back, and in order to get this was in Rhode Island, in order to get a tax write-off on the fact that they filmed in Rhode Island, they had a character say, "We're here in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island," and it was just so on the nose and so like just unnecessary. Like you can casually put in "We're in Rhode Island" more relaxed than that, but little things like that slip through when you're looking for the money as opposed to
Hmm.
the
Right, right.
story. And you can do both. You can try to get the money from it and create a quality story. And I honestly think that your audience is going to appreciate you more for creating the quality story over just trying to sell them things.
I would say, especially when you're out of the gate. You're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to establish yourself. You want it to be showing your best you.
Exactly.
From there on out, you could go in whatever direction you want. I mean, corporate sponsorships. You stick a can of Coke in there, whatever. I mean, there's a million different avenues to
And some people do
get some financial assistance, but at least you could establish who you are.
exactly.
Well, are you looking for this to be like a television type of,
No, it's a feature film.
looking for it to be on a regular film?
Oh, Phil.
Yeah,
The
it's like
big,
a streaming service, like a
because like if somebody came to you from Netflix and said, you know, our sponsors want, they like this, and so they'd like to put the money into this and we'd make you a Netflix film.
yeah,
Would you not
That's a
consider that?
possibility, definitely.
absolutely consider that. Where's the guy?
Yeah. No,
I'd love
Yeah,
honestly, I mean, especially these days, I mean, everybody's on Netflix, Hulu, and all that. Everything's streaming. So, and to be
yeah,
honest with you, Mason, um, I found and watched some great stuff that they produce and they put out there.
yeah. Netflix, Pluto, Peacock.
yeah,
I mean, they've got a lot of good stuff on there.
I think you found yourself a purple-haired manager. I think is what you did. She's gonna go just browbeat people. You're gonna have all the opportunities in the world.
at
Well,
all.
I talked to a number of producers and directors and stuff like that on LinkedIn myself for a lot of different reasons. And I wrote a book, so I want to sell the rights to my book to make it and have it made. But I'm not looking for it to be, this big red carpet movie. I'm looking, for a Netflix thing or something like that. So I'm already talking to people about this, you know, and because I have a podcast and they look at my podcast, it's a lot different on my end because I've developed like a quasi relationship in a very short amount of time because they like what I do. So, but we'll see when the bottom line comes and, it's dollars to donuts, what am I going to get offered? And who's going to offer it and who's going to do it? And how much are they going to change it? Me, if they changed it, it's slightly, that's okay. But if they take away from the characters in the book, then no, I'm not going to go for it.
They oftentimes do. Tarantino actually sold one of his scripts, and he actually refuses to watch the film because he thinks they did such a bad job with it.
Which one?
What is it called? Not True Romance. That one he liked. It was the other one. If you watch it, forget the name of it. It's actually going to bother me.
I do the same thing. When I can't think of something, I right to Google.
Golden moment.
To make
You're
sure.
too young for this mix.
Yes, maybe you're too young to have dementia.
I started to watch it and I was like, this feels like a bad Quentin Tarantino film.
You didn't hear that.
Huh?
Quentin, you really didn't hear that.
I promise you, he would probably agree.
Quentin's never coming on the show.
Probably agree with me if he did hear that.
Oh, I'm sure. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who doesn't, he doesn't look like he pulls any punches.
He walks to the beat of his own drummer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Natural Born Killers is the name of it.
Natural Born Killers. Yes. I seen that. I went to a premiere in New York City when I lived up there, and I swear to you, Mason, the movie, the way it was shot, and the way they did it, I was dizzy.
Yeah.
And almost seasick, like nauseous.
Yeah, no, I couldn't watch it after 10 minutes.
It was horrific. I've never watched it again. Ever.
I wouldn't.
I could see how he was not, or I should say, less than thrilled with what he put that together. Well, and Robert Downey Jr. is such a.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
Woody Harrelson and Robert. I mean, excellent actors.
Yeah.
Actors don't make a film good though. Writing makes the film good and good
directly.
Yeah. Like I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. And I don't even know how he even looked at that at the end and said, yeah, this is a good movie. This is really good. We're gonna I don't know. Maybe they were smoking a little bit too much that night. I don't know.
I think a lot of people just kind of go, that's good enough. Just let it go. Like,
yeah.
Like we don't want to spend another dime. We don't want to take another week. Let's just let it go.
Let it in.
Let it go. Put it out there.
That's something I'll never be able to do. Like if it's not to the level that I want it to be, I'm gonna reshoot it or.
Right.
As you should.
Yeah.
It's like putting out an album or anything else. Well, you don't want to release it until you feel it's ready to go, and you know that you're gonna get. You put your heart into it, and you let the chips fall where they may, and you have confidence in what you did. You feel good about it, and that's all you could ask for.
I know I'm good at the artistry of it. I don't know. I definitely know that my weak side is the business side of it. But I'm working on it and still trying to make it operate and trying to try new strategies and things that work. A lot of times it takes time and it takes.
Yeah, and it takes sometimes you buddy up to an attorney. Make friends with a really good entertainment attorney.
Yes.
That's why they have these production companies filled with hundreds of people who all have their own individual roles. Like I have me, and then somebody who decided to help me once they saw that I was doing it in Colorado. That's my whole team right now, and a guy who helped me film recently.
Okay.
It's bit by bit, and you meet new people. It's cool. It's an exciting process. It just builds on itself.
Oh yeah.
So I see a piano there. Do you play piano?
Yeah, I make all the music in the film too.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
I play ukulele and piano in the film and just do different little bits.
Mason, are you a full-on musician? I mean, do you play multiple instruments? Or
I mean, I can play both instruments, but I'm writing a song for the film right now, like a musical number, and I'm piecing it together. It's coming along, but I've never actually fully written a song before. but I just love music really deeply, and I'm like a huge Beatles fan.
Oh, I
Ah,
am. Oh, yes.
we were just
Oh,
listening to the
yeah.
Beatles
Yeah.
before we got on here.
I love like the artistry, especially in their later albums. It's the way their songs ebb and flow into different tempos and rhythms and
Oh
Right.
styles.
yeah.
It just
Oh
feels
yeah. Did
so.
you ever see the movie Yesterday?
I wasn't a fan. I'm not gonna lie.
No? I thought it
No,
was a cool concept.
it
I
was
I
liked
thought it was
all of
something
their
different.
films.
it was a cool concept. I think that it takes away from the idea of like what it means to really be an artist and to have to come up with that stuff on your own and to be consistent like that. I don't know. That's just my
Well, it definitely brings it to light. I mean, if you watch the movie, you realize, okay, this guy's just copying this stuff. What does it take to actually make that stuff? That's obvious.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a different. It was just something to me, because
it's a clever idea.
I mean, we're at the point now where we're redoing
Same.
everything because there's no new stuff out there, and I thought it was just an interesting new concept.
Well, the thing that's
But I
weird is
do understand what you're saying.
there's old stuff from like thousands of years ago that's not even made into films. Like the Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the most classic pieces of literature ever, and there's no film of that. I mean,
Hmm.
Hmm.
there's stuff that they can dive into that would be very popular, but
Right.
hey, look, Spider-Man's on the screen again for the
I
third
know
time.
Spider-Man 38, or I don't know. I lose track. I'm only into originals. My favorite movie of all time is Jaws. Jaws one. That's it.
Just Jaws one.
Just
Good.
Jaws one. That's
Uh,
my favorite movie
mine is
of all time.
mine's Grease. I love Grease.
Oh, Grease is
I love so much stuff.
there's so many great films out there, and
Oh, there is.
I've noticed that the most of them take place prior to 2008.
Hmm.
Really bizarre. I mean, maybe there's because a longer time frame, but I feel like the Hollywood machine has become much more a part of regular.
Yes, it has. It has. I mean, with the comic aspect of everything and all the animated movies and who's who on the voiceovers. There's a lot of big name actors making a ton of money just doing voices on
Oh,
cartoons.
yeah. Oh, oh,
So things
definitely.
definitely have changed a lot in regards to how you making really really good films. You look at not even that long ago, but something like Goodfellas.
Oh, it's a great film.
You know, it's not a million years ago, but still one of those movies that I don't care if there's 8 minutes left in it when I'm scrolling through I'm going to watch the last 8 minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
the ultimate is The Godfather. I mean, I don't think I've ever met anybody that can say a negative word about The Godfather. I mean, all episodes of it. I mean, and it's almost like men live by the whole concept of Godfather. It's
We don't
unbelievable.
kill, we whack.
It's amazing.
I like your approach though, Mason, with doing something pseudo like comedy thriller. You
Yeah,
know,
I think it also just needs some variation right now. I think
Right,
art in general is looking for a renaissance, especially coming out of COVID. I think we're all tired of the same mundane
oh
thing.
god, yeah.
right.
We're sick of that life of just we're part of this machine that feeds the corporations and the politicians. Like it's the same
Hmm.
tale we've been telling for 150 years now. It's nothing's that different, but
Yep.
Yeah.
it's it's a matter of how do we as artists inspire people to break out of that mold and feel better about the day-to-day life and just enjoy their lives more.
Absolutely.
It's
So
amazing.
that's the whole point of the story too, is just the real true appreciation of life and the gratitude that you can find over
Hmm.
the smallest of things and how that can change your whole life.
Well, Mason, I'm really rooting for you, and I am really like hoping that you can get your break there because I love the concept. I really love the concept of what you're doing, and I'm really hoping that somewhere along the line you're going to connect with somebody, and I know I'm going to talk you up and see what happens, and you
Yeah,
know, I appreciate you being on the show today, and I
Absolutely.
really enjoyed listening to you and what you're doing, and I am really really going to be in your corner, hoping that you can get something out of this.
And Mason,
And
how could everybody find you?
yes,
What's your main?
yeah. So on Instagram and TikTok, my name is Mason.Aksamit. I'll spell that. So Mason, Mason dot AKSAM as in Mary, IT. You'll find the clips on there. If you go to YouTube and type in Drepper or Drepper Mason Aksamit, that'll probably pop it up. You could actually watch the film from the beginning to the end. I'm building
yeah,
it bit,
you can.
so it's the first 21 parts of the film, so about the first 25 minutes of the film on there.
Hmm.
I also have an Indiegogo page, and oh, actually, I have a barcode that I'll just hold up because it works. If people were to scan this barcode, it would bring them to all of my pages.
Oh, that's
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
neat. Oh,
excellent,
that's great.
so
excellent,
uh,
perfect.
that'll,
Great. Yes.
I can also send it to you guys as well. But
Yeah,
it,
please do that. Please do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's
So
wonderful. Well, it'll be on the show, so people, when they watch the show, they can take a picture of that. But do send it also, and I'll have the producers set it up after
Yeah, so
the
they could still it so that they could
they'll put
scan
it
it.
on. Yeah.
great.
So that would be great.
Yeah,
Great.
awesome.
Well, it's been a pleasure. And to my audience, we are funnyminds.com. Please go on our website. For video, we're on Spotify and YouTube, and audio, we're on every other platform. On the website, you will find a store. We have a store. We sell a lot of silly things with our name on it. And also, there are two organizations that are very dear to us, and that's Women's Breast Cancer and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So there's a big purple button, and if you push that button, you may donate to those organizations because they do wonderful, wonderful things. So to all of my audience that I love so much, I say be healthy, be happy, be wise, be careful, smile, but never forget to laugh because laughter is the best medicine. So again, Mason, good luck to
Mason,
you.
thank you so much, man.
Thank
Thank you.
you. And we will talk you up. We
Please
will
do.
definitely talk you up.
I'm desperate for attention, so please talk.
Okay, you take care.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you, my brother.
Bye.